Howdy guys, Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live for the second video of the Thursday night, which is usually, it's either the second or third, where I go and answer questions specifically from people who call in. And what's amazing about this is that people sometimes have really easy, simple, cool questions that everybody wants to know the answer to, and they're really easy to answer. And then sometimes people have questions that they've called for attorneys that couldn't answer, and I get stuck with it. But either way, we're going to do it. We're going to have fun with it. I've got the first caller on the phone already. Let's just go through the basic rules before we get to that person. Number one, you get about 5 to 7 minutes. If you want a longer period, you can buy an hour of time by emailing the law firm for the $250 an hour contract. You also can go ahead and use your fake name. Always use your fake name. And remember, don't go into story mode. Have your legal question right up front. So we have the first person on the phone. Madame, what is your legal question and how can I help you?
Well, my legal question is, my name is freaking out. My legal question is, today I received notification from Social Security that my SSI has been officially denied. I've been receiving it for a few years. I know what it's from because, okay, I receive a percentage. I have a 401 that I can't cash out that's like $2,300.
Okay.
I've been doing this for the last couple of years. I notify Social Security, yada, yada, yada. I've also offered them a letter every time they've asked, stating that I cannot cash this out, nor can I stop the once-a-year payments to come out.
Okay.
So I got the letter today in this little packet, all this white paper with black ink on it, because I'm trying to be humorous in the midst of my stress, that I have been receiving over the $2,000 amount of money, even though I don't have it in my savings account. It's in my 401 that I can't touch. They're counting it as cash.
So, 401ks are usually considered to be like part of the resource equation for the 2000 limitation. So what does the letter say? Are they coming after you because of like an SGA, because you're getting too much with that one-time payment? Or is it one of those gigs where they're looking at it from the $2,000 resource limit?
Hang on. I didn't think I'd get through, let alone be on the phone. Okay, that's in the living room. Okay, so I'm almost to the landing point of where the book is at. Okay, so what page of this do you want to look at? Let me see.
I guess what I'm looking for is their analysis as to why they're trying to cut off benefits. You know, what is their term reasoning? Like, where does it say the sentence where they say, we are cutting off your benefits because,
we plan to lower your monthly payments from $943.20 beginning January of 24. The amount will change because you have considerable resources, more than $2,000.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So they're hitting you with the resource limit. And what happens is with 401ks, for SSI people, supplemental security income, if you have more than $2,000 in a 401k, then you get nipped as a result of that. So basically the bottom line is, what you have to keep in mind is that they are going to count that against the $2,000. If you, and it sounds like you have over $2,000 in a 401k, they're going to expect you to go ahead and, get rid of that kind of gig, or, spend it out.
I can't get rid of it. I've called the task craft people, and the way it is set up, I can't get rid of it. And I can't stop the payments from coming once they got started, the once-a-year plan, the 1 year over 10 years of payment.
So you have no capacity to modify, change, alter, whatever you want to, put it as, your 401k at this point?
To the best of my knowledge, no. I've cashed out everything from U of M, the hospital. I've already cashed out what I could cash out. This was like a little box that I did when I first hired at U of M a long time ago, that it was for long-term safe stuff versus the high risk or mid-risk.
Okay, gotcha. So...
And I don't know what it's called, but I can't...
Do you have a letter of statement from them that you have no capacity to alter, basically the future financial plans of that particular 401k? I mean, is that really what's going on, or help me out with that? Yeah.
Okay, I didn't understand that question.
So
anxiety's kicking in, and go ahead.
401ks. Yeah, no worries. 401ks usually you can modify, change, alter, update whatever, you can do these things, and you can kind of change the path in which the 401k is going.
Right.
Are you?
I understand that. Okay.
Yeah. So what they're going to be looking at with your situation is, I mean, do you truly have any evidence that you cannot alter the path of this and you're stuck with it? Is it an anchor that
I've
you
had
can't pull up? Yeah.
To the best of my knowledge, by talking to the individuals at TAF, whoever answers the phone, unless I'm going to try to get education tomorrow of how to call them back and say, I need to talk to someone more than just this, or if I need to go back to an attorney somewhere to find out. So to the best of my knowledge at this point, I cannot move it. I cannot touch it, except for when they give me that whatever percentage is over, for each year that it yeah.
I mean, and this is like what I would say, just from my perspective of this thing, okay, so you've got to call them tomorrow. That's number one, because, having 401k where you just really genuinely can't modify, change, alter, etc. is odd. And then the other thing too, I mean, they do exist where they're part of like this trust thing that somehow interacts with it, or there's some limiting factor, or it's like a really old whatever. So they do exist, but I guess what I would want to know is, how is it structured? Because, look, if you truly have no capacity to touch this thing, then it may not be a traditional 401k, in which case the traditional resource rule would have to be modified in your particular situation with the variance. So, yeah. I
agree with that. It may not be, I'm using 401 as a term, but it's actually under a TIA type, and then CREFT is the TIAA/CREF. So it may not be technically a 401. So I guess that was my misunderstanding of saying that. Because, so basically, if there's no way to dissolve of this, for it to go away, then at this point, there's no way even if I appealed this, there's no way I'm going to get my SSI back. Is that what you're
no, I'm not saying that. I mean, I don't have enough info. This is the thing. You're telling me there's this magical 401k that can't be cashed out, and what's your current age?
Okay.
What's your,
I think right now it's,
yeah, what is your current age though? I'm just curious, because sometimes you can do different things at different ages.
I'm 60. I'm 60. I'll turn 61 in February.
Okay, gotcha. I just and you're SSI only, which means that at 62 you're going to transition to retirement anyways. Do you have 40 quarters of coverage?
Do I have what?
40 quarters of coverage, or the cool people call it 40 credits.
I have money when I turned 62 for regular retirement. I just didn't have enough credits because I had quit working for a time period. And then when I applied for Social Security for disability, that's why the SSI was put into effect versus SSDI.
So, I mean, here's, okay, so here's what I would say.
First of all, I shouldn't panic. I need to do the 10-day appeal to it, and then also do the 60 while I'm trying to find out all the information I can, right?
The only thing I'm worried, do the appeals, absolutely. But the only thing I'm worried about is, okay, how much in retirement are you supposed to get per month? Because if you get stuck with SSI as a partial and a concurrent allowance, you're going to get nailed to the wall on this thing if you can't get rid of it. So, and I'm almost certain you can somehow divest it, you know what I mean? Cash out of it in some way, some form. But point is, how much are you supposed to get per month in retirement?
In the retirement, if I do the 62, I think we calculated it to be 5 something. Because I would be taking it earlier versus 65.
500 something?
Yes.
All right. So you've got to fix this SSI thing no matter what you do, because you're going to be writing SSI through the rest of your life. You're going to be a concurrent allowance. So,
correct.
All right. So here's the deal. Tuesdays, I go live on Facebook. Thursdays, I go live on YouTube. So catch up with me on Facebook on Tuesday. I did not do a live on Facebook last Tuesday because I was going through a lot of, the House 4-point stuff, but I will be going live on Tuesday. So get the info, catch up with me, and then hopefully it's a simple, straightforward solution, but divesting at least part of that 401k. And remember, The $2,000 resource limit is an add to lose game. You can get all your Lego blocks, and if they all add up past 2,000, then you lose. So even if you reduce the 401k,
well, to top it all off,
yeah,
and the other half of this, I have a trust with my brother,
yeah,
for my mom's estate and condo and all that stuff, which I called on a bit ago.
yeah.
They started to go after that, but then the attorneys called them on it, and they backed down, so they went after this instead.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. My mom died the end of November. Everything is clean. All we have to do is sell the car and sell the condo, and everything goes into the irrevocable, the trust with our names on it. And I will probably, on a bad day, probably have $90,000 in account.
Wait, the phone cut out there. Was it 98,000 or 9,800? How much?
Rough estimate. There's $20,000 in the cash trust now that we use to pay for her on the condo.
Yeah.
When the condo is sold, it could be between 80 to 100,000 that I get once the condo is sold, which could happen in a couple months. But my brother doesn't want to wait that. He's the turtle and I'm the rabbit. Other way around. Yeah. So if I fight all this,
I mean, how is this trust built, by the way? Because, as a disabled person with SSI, it has to have particular language in it.
The language there, but the trust was created before I applied for SSI or applied for Social Security.
So what you're saying to me is it may not be set up correctly, which means you're about to add a massive resource onto your back, which they can potentially count against you.
Right. Well, at that point, my brother said they would put it in a trust, and that way I could, as long as I kept my SSI. So we've got that planned out. That part's taken care of. It's just this big, this thing that happened now. So basically, to paraphrase, because I know my 10 minutes is up, is I need to call TAF in the morning, find out, keep pushing the envelopes, and have them send me paperwork that says what I can and cannot do with this thing. And at that point, maybe go to church and see if there's someone who can explain it to me in English. In the meantime, also tomorrow, call the attorney that helped me with this disability when she went to court for me for just the hearing, and then see what her recommendations are. And then collect all this information between now and Tuesday and calm down. And then Tuesday, if I need, give you a contact on Facebook on Tuesday night to let you know what I found out.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, catch up with me because you've got a couple.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't know where to start. Yeah. I didn't know where to start. So thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are. Yeah. No, you're a blessing that you don't realize.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful night, and I'll catch up with you on Tuesday.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
All right,
bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a legal question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you? Go ahead.
Well, I got a kind of a complex one. I'm Jed Clampett here.
Sure.
My ALJ stated that I wasn't there and tailored me out of the entire hearing and fabricated stuff. What would be my recourse on that?
Hold on. So you were, was it telephonic, video, in person? How was the structure?
It was in person.
So you were there in the waiting room, or were you actually physically in the hearing room?
No, I did the entire thing. I got the VE, everything.
And then the judge said you weren't present?
And tailored me out of everything.
Really?
Like I didn't exist. Yes.
I mean, the first thing I would do is I would get a copy.
It was on the second one.
Do you have an attorney or no attorney?
None. I'm self-represented. Unfortunately, it's a CDR.
Okay, so first thing I would do is get a copy of the audio report, and then I would request.
I got that on the way.
Then you go ahead and request that it be transcribed. That way you have it. Then you appeal it to appeals counsel, and you notate that you were present and that you are requesting a new hearing with a new judge because of potential bias issues. Why would he do that though, or she? Why did the judge do that?
Well, I had two hearings. One didn't go their way, and it was actually to the day. It was 9/6/22 and then 9/5/23. You didn't use my doctor's medical weights. It was consistent with the entire thing going back to 2013.
Okay.
It's only using the MEs, which is on what was a clerical error in 2016.
Okay.
Which is my date last insured. And they're using that when I said that was false, and I'm going to the HHS to dispute it. And the ALJ had put that on me and said, well, this is post-hearing. I want this by this date, and by the 401-911 out of my control, I got it as soon as I could, and it still didn't count. She said that I didn't even show up.
So it was outside, the post-hearing open record. I would just appeal to appeals counsel. It's pretty much your only main recourse at this point. Let appeals counsel remand it back to another ALJ. Basically, so I could
disqualify that one for me at least.
You might be successful, you might not be. And here's what happens. They have to see if there's any potential bias that was shown on behalf of the ALJ. I mean, if you really feel the ALJ, and I mean, that's some weird stuff. That is some out of the traditional ballpark.
I'm trying to get up the money to get the consult with you, actually. So holidays.
The other thing I would do,
it's very complicated.
I mean, if that's really what happened, I'd reach out to OIG and ask them for a review of the situation, because man, that's out there. That's like to have a judge be like the person wasn't present. That's weird.
Right. Obviously, I'm not going to out the ALJ, but this is on YouTube for doing the exact same thing to somebody else.
Wow.
But yeah, it's bad. I just wanted to know what my recourse was, because it was unique. I really appreciate you pointing me in the right direction, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, man, if that actually happened, appeals counsel, send out a notification to OIG, let them know, and then basically you can always reach out to the chief ALJ of that particular area. So whatever judge it was. So the chief ALJ is the one who does corrective measures against the judge when they are bad. And then basically, you also want to send it to appeals counsel, who can go ahead and begin the, review process for a potential approval, denial, or remand. And then, I mean, if they really did that, that's out there. I'd reach out to OIG and get them to take a look too.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
Because every piece of advice tailored without me in it, and it was read differently.
Yeah,
so
that's
I've already
weird.
got the audio coming.
Perfect.
It was kind of hard getting that one. I got the previous one. Nothing's lining up, because I've listened to it word for word.
Yeah.
I got 2 VEs that say 0 jobs. They use the same ME in both of them, with different information, but it was based off of the one piece that was not valid. That I told them I'm at HHS getting it removed.
Right.
And
gotcha.
That was my burden of proof all of a sudden. And I said, well, I'm doing my best. I did, and I got it as soon as I could. But then she made her.
Oh, I lost you. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, honestly, what I would say is this. I'd reach out to those people. So here's the thing. Do me a favor with this whole thing. Okay, so here's the deal. When you write it up, don't write it up as like a snitty FU kind of letter. Write it up as a legal exchange where you were essentially deprived of your administrative rights and your constitutional rights. Yeah, administrative rights through the SSA docket system, and then also your constitutional rights for, I guess it would be like a lack of presence / also it's kind of like a quasi. When they denied you, what did the denial letter even look like? I mean, I'm trying to imagine, like, did they just...
Well, at the DDS, it was a clerical. So they were basing it off the clerical, which I'm going through HHS now that I have the proof of what it was. They say I'm 5'6", I'm 6'2". It's all bad information, but it says alcoholic.
Yeah.
Right, there's a big red flag.
Okay.
But I got that removed. I even had her admit that she wasn't even going to use it. She used it. And I've got to admit a few things on there, but now she's saying I wasn't there. And she didn't allow any witnesses. She didn't have any of my 454, 827s, nothing.
That's weird, because you should be able to ask. Yeah. I would ask also from the hearing office for a copy of your exhibit disc. I review specifically the A, B, D, E, and F. There's no C, to see if you had all your files in there, what was omitted. Because remember, if you see stuff that's missing, the question then becomes, was it in the case documents folder? And if it wasn't properly, admitted and then crossed over to the exhibit folder from the case documents folder, then you have a
Right.
remand right there. So there's a lot of issues with this, and it's definitely in the weird
That's why I
pile.
was going to get the 250.
Yeah.
I just no way I get in a phone call, but I just wanted to get a point in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only because time is of the essence on that.
Yeah, but
all right, I'll get the transcripts. And you said the chief ALJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody has a chief ALJ except for the chief ALJ. The chief ALJ has a regional ALJ, and then the regional ALJ is like a super chief regional ALJ. And then there's one ALJ to rule them all. So yeah. So
right.
yeah.
Okay. You've been a lifesaver on this one.
Yeah.
I could not find this answer anywhere. So I thank you very much for that. That's why I'm always watching and learning.
Perfect, sir. You have a wonderful.
I did hit the like button, and I'm hoping to get 250 to you. And have a consult.
Perfect, sir. Sounds good. I'll catch you later. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.
All right, you too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot, Disability Resolution PA. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. We get about 5 to 7 minutes to answer a question. What is the legal question that I can help you with?
Hello?
Howdy. Oh, yeah, and go ahead and mute the computer in the background because you'll be able to hear me better through the phone. But what is the legal question that I can help you with?
I can't believe it got through. I want to thank you for answering my my comment. I looked at the $5 question at the end of your last video.
Sure.
I've been calling around for different attorneys, and they've been all telling me that they don't take the old lawyer's case to do a new claim. And the thing is, if I do that, I know you said do the appeal, but they're all telling me in order for them to represent me, I have to do a new claim, which I'll lose my SSDI, and I don't know how to do that.
So I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll walk you through how it works. So are you under 50?
Yeah, I'm 40 right now. But when I filed my claim initially with SSI or SSA, I was 35.
So basically,
but they denied me the first time.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you went in front of an ALJ, right, and got a denial?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got to send in your appeal document to appeals counsel and ask them for additional time to submit like a brief. The form that you're going to be using to go ahead and submit you can either go online, which is the better way to do it. They want you to do it that way. And basically, file, just like go to Google and type in appeal my disability claim, and then go to the first.gov website, and it will give you the option to appeal the ALJ hearing decision to go to appeals counsel. Or you can submit an HA 520. An HA 520 is a request for review of the hearing decision / order. On that form, you're going to want to click basically where you say, hey, please grant me an extension of time to submit additional evidence or arguments. You're going to want to click that button. That'll give you additional time. But here's the thing. Let me kind of explain how it works. Some disability attorneys have basically certifications to go upwards beyond the ALJ hearing stuff and do all that. Some of them don't. And so what you have to keep in mind is that some disability attorneys don't like to spend a lot of time and money doing appeals counsel briefs or district court, circuit court, Supreme Court. My firm is busy with tons and tons of hearings. So if I get overloaded, I offload some of my denials that I get at the ALJ hearing level to another firm that does the appeals for appeals counsel, circuit court, district court, whatever, when I'm overloaded, and then they remand them back to me, and they get paid for the work above the ALJ, and then basically I remand them, get the ALJ stuff. But and that's only if I can't handle all the claims, which happens. It happens. But bottom line is this: if you reach out to me tomorrow, I can give you basically some direction on essentially what you should do with your ALJ denial, and go ahead and begin the process of review. Because remember, it's no longer at this point whether or not you're disabled under the rules and regulations. It's about whether or not the judge made an error to law or fact on your claim, and then the question becomes, if they did, are you in fact disabled under the rules and regulations? It goes back to that question. So what I would say is this: go ahead and just catch up with me tomorrow, and I'll kind of walk you through what your next step will be. But you are correct. Most disability attorneys do not want to do federal district court stuff or circuit court stuff. And I understand why. It's a ton of work. And it's also two different types of animals. The animal of the attorney that does the getting the client, interacting with the client, getting them to the hearing, getting the judge to approve potentially the claim. That's one type of attorney. And then the other type of attorney, like that just sits there and writes a brief attorney, that's like a totally different type of attorney. But if you give me a call tomorrow, I'll kind of get you rolling in the right direction. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah, because to me, I mean, I'm not that smart, but I just assume money-wise, for 3 years of back pay, and an attorney gets a percentage of that, I don't even know how much I'll get a month if I win, but I would assume it's around, even if it's $800, then that'll be like $30,000 for 3 years of back pay, right?
So the thing is this, let's assume that they approved you from your filing date and didn't move the AOD way forward, which is what they do with a lot of people under 50. They move that alleged onset date way forward and kill off a lot of back pay. So the problem is that in order to properly represent somebody and, get the client, work the claim, have the staff work the claim, go to a hearing, all that stuff, it costs a couple grand to the law firm, for like the standard, application go through. And the problem is that if your claim is only going to come out to like, $4 grand, $5 grand, then the firm made hardly any profit. If it's a 7,200, then they made a little bit of profit. But the reality is this: when it comes to Social Security disability law, the disability attorneys, they don't make anywhere near enough. So what's happening is that most of the Social Security disability attorneys are doing like VA benefits or LTD benefits or whatever, and they're negotiating into those fields because, those claims you're getting, the attorney gets like $20,000-$30,000, and that's what you need to have a staff work on a claim. You work on a claim, write a brief, go to a hearing, do all this stuff, work on it for years. But when it comes to like potentially making a profit, where, of like $500 or $1,000 if we're working with somebody for 3.5 years, it just doesn't make sense to do that anymore. And so that's what's going on. The industry is going through a reevaluation, if you will, from the legal side. It used to be like a cash cow system. Now it's a bit of a drag. It doesn't mean it won't go cash cow again, because Social Security is becoming more and more relevant to these politicians. But in its immediate current state, it is definitely something that needs to change.
Okay, I appreciate it. Like I said, I just assume that the more money for SSDI and less for SSI. So why would they go with the less money? Because it's a new claim. But I appreciate your time.
Yeah,
thanks very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good sir. You have a wonderful night. I'll catch up with you tomorrow.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Merry Christmas.
You as well. Merry Christmas. Bye bye. So I'm going to do one more call, just so you guys know, because I'm super tired. It is 10:03 p.m. And basically, I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I was actually up last night playing with my audio stuff, and I've had so much fun. Like I'm not actually at the point where I can like really play the guitar with it or sing with it and stuff like that. But I was like playing with the preamps. Oh, so much fun. All right, here we go. Okay, and hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. This is going to be the last call of the night. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. You get about 5 to 7 minutes to have a question answered. What is your legal question that I can help you with? Go ahead.
Good evening. Thank you for taking my call. I'm hoping it's just an easy, straightforward question. I received SSDI. I've been qualified since 2015. I'm 34, and I have 2 dependents. I set up an appointment to get more information, but it's not until the end of January. But I was wondering if I could supplement my SSDI with either SSI and or child benefits. I was just made aware of these other applications that I could apply for last month.
So I'm super getting tired. My brain shut off for a little of that. How much are you getting in SSDI per month?
So I currently get $984, but it increases to, I think, $1,004 next month.
Very cool. So, so you're right at that point where SSI really wouldn't be able to bolster it that much. You can always check and see if it would add a couple dollars here and there. The one that's really going to bolster it is the DAC benefits, which is the disabled adult child benefit option. Were you disabled between 18 and 22? And can you prove it with evidence showing that you were disabled at that time?
When I qualified in 2015, I don't think I was I think I was above 22.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything to prove that.
So when you were approved, what was the date that they went back to say that you were disabled originally from? Yeah.
So the back date was at 2015. I wasn't actually, I had to go through an appeal process and so forth because I was originally denied.
Okay, gotcha.
But the start date of my benefits that they went back to was 2015.
Do you know why they chose that date that they approved you from, the initial date where they're saying you were disabled from? Like, what was the reason they chose that?
That was around the time when I last was able to work.
Okay.
That was just before, just after I had lost my previous job.
Okay, gotcha. When you say previous job, was it part-time or full-time?
It was part-time.
Okay. When you're talking about part-time, how much were you earning per month?
At that time, it was low wages. I know it was about minimum wage, and I'm in Maryland, so it was no more than like $8 and some change per hour, part-time, not even a full 40 hours a week.
Okay, let me check what the SSA quarter of coverage amount was for 2015.
Okay.
Okie doke. Quarters of coverage. So how much were you earning per month around again?
I know it was about less than $9 an hour, so in less than 40 hours a week. Let me see if I can pull up a calculator. So that was about 9 times, maybe 30 hours times 4. So about 1,080 a month.
Okay. 1,080. So just keep in mind, substantial gainful activity at that point in 2015 was for non-blind individual 1,090. So you could have been just $10 under it.
Okay.
Keep in mind, what year did you turn 22?
22. In 2017, I was 18. So 19, 20, 21. So I think about 2016, actually.
Wait, you turned 22 in 2016?
I think so.
Okay, do me a favor. Go to Google and type in birthday calculator and use that.
Okay.
That'll tell you exactly when you turned. So what I'm looking for is the day before you turned 23. So like 22 and a day before 23. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and file essentially for disabled adult child benefits. Do you know how to file for disabled adult child benefits?
No, and I did set an appointment in January to inquire more about that. So
Okay.
I'm hoping that they would be able to guide me.
Okay, super dupe. So keep in mind, for some reason I'm like falling asleep. I'm not really sure what's going on. I think it's a lack of caffeine, but yeah, so here's what I would say. Okay, you're going to go ahead and have as a backup in case they don't call you to go ahead and do the application. It's called the SSA-4-BK form. It's the SSA-4-BK form. And what that form is essentially the application for Social Security benefits, child insurance benefits. We call them disabled adult child benefits, or DABs, but SSA-4-BK. You want to have that completed and ready to go. That way, if they don't call you, you can go ahead and submit it to your local FO. Hold on. Let's do this. SSA field office zip code. What is your zip code?
It's 21060.
21060. Cool beans. Let's see. Locate. Awesome. So the address that you're going to be sending that form to, if they don't call you, is Suite 1A, 337 Hospital Drive.
Okay, in Glen Burnie.
Yep, MD.
Okay.
21061.
Right. Okay.
Yep. And then basically that'll get you started. Now you have to go ahead and get evidence from that time period in which you were, essentially a day before 23. So you're going to want to look to school records showing impairment back in the day. You're going to want to look to medical records, going back that far for doctors you might have seen. You're going to want to look at any reports that were created, sleep studies, medical imaging, any of that stuff that potentially exists. You're going to want to start reaching out and trying to obtain that immediately so you can show an attachment date to that.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Excellent. Madame, I will catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful, wonderful night.
You too. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys. So here's the deal. That was the last call. I'm super duper tired. I'm falling asleep for some reason, but I want to answer some of the questions on here as quickly as I can. I saw Lost Again had a question. I'm just scrolling up to see what the questions were. I'm not seeing the questions. Lost Again. Go ahead and put the questions right at the bottom. Gina Lagarce, let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for joining the membership. That's awesome. Very cool. Guys, so there's 2 levels of membership. There's the, you get the cool icons membership level. And then there's basically the priority response. That's where basically if you type a question, it pops up with this giant thing and I can see it and then I go and answer it. And I like prioritize those questions. All right, next question. Elaine Shoemaker. What about if a disabled woman is being stalked from 7 years? Cops won't stop him. He's very upset. I'm disabled. Who's out there for us? Well, basically, you would need to go ahead and use the sheriffs. You need to go ahead and use the police. You would need to go ahead and use your local, senators, House reps. But also, bottom line is you'd have to, go ahead and file reports against this individual and then try and submit it to potentially a private investigator to build a case against that individual. So, Elaine, I would, if you can, get a private investigator to follow the person that's following you to create a claim that can be handed over to the police because that makes it easier for them just to arrest that person. Let's see. Brett Capola, can anyone answer my question about California's health insurance? I don't know what the question is, but you can always put it up there. I'll check it out. Let's see. Papa Smurth said yawns are contagious. They super duper are. I'm like falling asleep really hard right now. Gina Lagarce said, when are you running for president? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I just want to go to Waffle House right now. That's pretty much my level of like where I'm going. So that's what I need right now. Let's see. DJ Law, when I fall asleep. Okay, gotcha. Very cool. India, I do need rest. Let's see. Okay, everything. Yeah. So yeah, the restraining order for that individual would be good, but you're gonna have to have a claim to prove why a restraining order would be necessary. Okay. So William Bonin. So I have a question. How is it on 41 and they're fighting me saying if you can move, basically all you don't qualify. Oh, yeah, I just heard someone that's 22 getting disability. So yeah, basically they have people receiving disability even from age 1 until even less than age 1, all the way through to the moment before they die. But that's SSI where they couldn't get retirement or they have partial retirement and they're on, well, actually technically SSI is disability until you reach 65, and then of course for SSDI benefits, when you hit 67 at your full retirement age, it transfers over to retirement if you have retirement available to you, which is an interesting sticky situation where sometimes that gets a little muddled. All right, let's see what else we have here. I have a grandson that is autistic. Can he get SSDI and how much can he get? The father is not in the picture. So autism, the spectrum, there are some people who are really bad, some people who are not that bad. Like if you go talk to a lot of college kids nowadays, pretty much everybody is talking about how they're on the spectrum. But most of them, to be fair, maybe are, but are realistically not something that should be medically, considered within the spectrum because they're just kind of abusing the title of it. So it depends on specifically what the severity level is, mild, moderate, severe, or marked, and then basically extreme. If he is potentially, in the severe category, then, you have to look at how many quarters of coverage he's paid in, what his SSDI amount is, if he hasn't worked, he'll go on SSI. And if nobody is giving him like a check every month and he's paying for his own stuff, then he'll get $914 per month. So that's basically the the amount that he could get on 2023. Sorry, 914. Yeah. So the next thing is, keep on, I'm kind of falling asleep here. It's not with your phone. So if I need to text you, a suggestion is that the phone number, just so you know, is the 47279-1754 for the text messages. Okay, let's see. Lost Again. I'm 50 and my husband is 58 and receive benefits. We're both terminally ill. I see you're tired. I can touch base tomorrow. Yeah, that's fine. Just keep in mind tomorrow, I am going to be traveling part of the day to Fort Lauderdale. So back office staff is going to be more work and phone calls and text messages tomorrow. So just keep in mind, I'm going to be ready and available for some of the day, but just not all of the day because it's like a holiday thing coming up. Let's see. Papa Smurth. Now I'm 65. Will there be any changes for me? Disabled since 08. If you are on SSDI, you'll go to 67. You will basically transfer to retirement and not have the SGA limitation of SSDI. If you're on SSI, you should have already transferred to retirement. And if you haven't, it means that you don't have enough quarters of coverage for retirement, and you'll just be on SSI. Or if you do have enough quarters of coverage, but your retirement is below $1,000, they'll usually use SSI to supplement the retirement program. To see, hello, Great Walter. Do you have to pay taxes on SSDI? That's a huge question with a lot of little intricate things. We can always do a video on that, though, for the taxes and SSDI. Let's see. And then for the grandson, yeah, the main thing you have to consider also for the autism is the thing we were talking about with the prior call, which is disabled adult child benefits. If the grandson is between 18 and 22, or can prove that between 18 and 22 that they were disabled, they can potentially tap into the Title II SSD, or the Title II like benefits of their parents, the mother and the father, so long as they can prove that they're disabled during that time. So that's the big boost for a lot of people that really haven't worked much in their life. Let's see what else we have here. All right, I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, sleep. That's what I'm thinking. Can we all give a thank you to the moderator? She's been a super trooper for kind of working with us, staying up and making it all happen. I will catch you guys either tomorrow or the next day. Please, 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 please take care of yourself. Be safe. Remember, if you like this channel, you like how we basically go through things, remember to hit the like button. If you want to go ahead and subscribe, click the all button. We do have memberships now, which is super dupe. You can check them out. And then basically, if you want to leave a review, I always love waking up to those. You go to Google and you type in Disability Resolution Florida or Disability Resolution Law Firm, and you leave a review. I will catch you guys a little bit later. Please remember to have an absolutely wonderful night, and we will go from there because I'm literally falling asleep. I either need caffeine or sleep. So I will catch you later. Have fun, and thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.